As someone who started to vibe code with a basic knowledge of HTML and CSS, I'm going to be doing an honest review of these vibe coding tools. I'm going to be doing a comparison between Cloud Code, Amazon Q Developer, and GitHub Copilot. Starting with my favorite one, Amazon Q Developer. See, you're gonna notice why it's my favorite very soon, but I started with Amazon Q when I discovered AWS or when I was doing cloud computing. So it would help me, navigate the services and resources on AWS. And then I came to find out that there's a Q developer that you can use on VS Code. And honestly, they're very generous with the free tier. There's so many tokens that you can use. I rarely exhaust my free tier, and when you do, the payment is quite tricky because of the whole Kiro, and I don't know what else you need to integrate, and I don't know, an AWS builder. I'm just saying, if you want to upgrade from Amazon Q free tier to Pro, just make sure you have an AWS account and do it from the AWS account, because if you do it from the AWS builder, you're going to have a tough time. And honestly, the customer support on Kiro side is just, I just can't be bothered, to be honest with you. Then comes my second favorite, which is GitHub Copilot. With Copilot, it comes with VS Code, so I find it to be a very straightforward tool. The thing with it that I noticed is that you need to know what you're doing a little bit. Like, you need to tell it, I want my front end to be React, my back end to be this and this. I want my database to look like this. Otherwise, sometimes it gets caught up in its own mess, and if you don't know at least where to start with debugging, you might be going in loops and loops and just exhaust all your credits on that. But otherwise, I do love myself some Copilot because it knows what it's doing most of the time. And when it comes to checking for security and giving you suggestions of what's actually going to work for your kind of project, Copilot. And also the free tier credits, they're quite good, I might say. I've never actually had to upgrade my Copilot. It's always been doing whatever it needs to do for each project. So yeah, I love myself a Copilot. Then comes Cloud Code. See, the interesting part about all this is that Amazon Q and Copilot are third party whatever's for Cloud Code. Cloud Code is actually the base of most of these providers. So when you use Cloud Code, you actually understand why, because Cloud Code is just top tier. See, the problem I have with Cloud Code is it just makes you very unproductive. I mean, how are you locking me out for 5 hours after just working for 18 minutes at the simplest task? So for me, I just found Cloud Code to be very exhausting and frustrating, because I do understand that you have to pay your bills and you cannot give us too much, but for the $20 that I'm paying for Cloud Code, and getting only like 18 minutes per 5 hours, for the same $20, I can work all day, every day on Amazon Q and never exhaust my credit. So, Cloud Code, I understand the bills need to be paid, but using Cloud Code is just very frustrating for me. Yeah, so if you're just starting out on vibe coding, all these extensions are available on VS Code. I prefer using VS Code because I can do everything at the same time. I can switch up models if I need to for different purposes. And like I said, I'm just a beginner, so there's only so much I can do. So that's Amazon Q. For this one, it's easy. You just install the extension, then it's going to redirect you to login. You just go login on the on your browser using your AWS builder. That's Cloud Code. And like I said, Cloud Code has no free tier, so you have to pay for it from the start. Like, there's no test drive like with Amazon Q and Copilot. And if you ask me honestly, if you need a test drive, because these are the same models that you'll be using, just test it on Amazon Q or Copilot. It's going to at least give you a taste of what you're going to, except the part where you're going to get locked out for 5 hours. I can't tell you how frustrating that is. Yeah, so on VS Code, this is where my charts come. So you have both Copilot and Amazon Q under chat, and you can see Cloudy over there, Cloud or Cloudy. So yeah, you'll be redirected to log in. You need to create an Amazon AWS builder, whatever, if you don't have one. But if you do have one, the login is straightforward. So these are some products that I created. This one I entirely used Copilot. As you can see, everything works. You can log in, you can sign up. It's a food delivery tool, so the payment works. You can set your location. Honestly, without any add-ons, I feel like Copilot outdid itself with this one, because setting up the APIs, connecting everything that needs to be connected to each other. There was some debugging here and there, but it works. Then this was entirely made using Copilot. I mean Amazon Q. All the resources I use for this one are on AWS. So for me, any AWS related work, I use Amazon Q because it knows how to use the resources and all that. And for the front end too, I feel like it did a pretty good job, because it can take instructions. If I tell it I don't want it to have this or this, it does a pretty good job. And all the resources on AWS, Terraform, using Terraform and all that, everything works so perfectly, and the security is also top notch. So for me, when it comes to AWS related resources, I prefer using Amazon Q.